Yeah, I'm going to need some of this. I'm getting a little bit sore. It's going to hit me, I think, in about an hour. RPR is fascinating stuff. How many of you have heard of RPR? Wow. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, I was lucky enough to kind of get in on the ground level of it a long time ago. It's weird that since I started writing, my circle of friends changed. Like I got to be best friends with Chris Corfist, who is like literally my best friend now, and he's the smartest guy I know. Matter of fact, we are in negotiations right now to possibly head overseas and work as speed coaches for in England. It's weird stuff. We don't know what in the hell is going on yet, but so anyway, Chris and Cal Dietz, and the people we get at the TFCs and stuff. It's been a fascinating ride for me. So RPR all began actually when Chris Corfist's good friend Dan Fichter went over to France to see this crazy nut named Douglas Heel do voodoo. It's like acupressure points and that make people better athletes. Actually, Douglas was mainly about just general health. Most of the people that would attend his workshops were chiropractors and people that work with people that had problems. But Dan Fichter calls up Chris Corfist and say, "Holy cow, wait till you see this stuff." And so basically it's been hijacked by coaches. And so RPR is the next generation of Douglas's baby. Douglas had, it's a terrible name, Be Activated is what he called it. He's from Cape Town, South Africa. He's a kinesiologist. And I spent about 100 hours with Douglas, and I know I've written more about him than any other writer. So I'm pretty close to it. Reflexive Performance Reset is the American name for this. And whereas Be Activated include a lot of medical people, RPR is all about performance and coaches. That's how we do this stuff without getting in trouble. We're not pretending to be, a chiropractor or nothing. We're just a coach. Matter of fact, RPR now, at least level 1 RPR, and I think level 2 has gone to a self-RPR model where kids do it to themselves. Chris and I are still old school because we got in on the bottom and we work on kids. That makes a difference. It's all performance-based, and it's all geared for coaches and athletes. I'll tell you now, you're not going to learn RPR from me today. You are going to learn about it and see some of the things. If I taught the course, and I actually taught a course in England on it, it takes about 6 hours. And I think it costs like $250, so it's very reasonable. Douglas used to charge $500. Chris said, we're dealing with coaches here. They don't have $500. So $250, and I think the online course costs the same. And the online course is the best online thing I've ever participated in. The online course is good. If anybody wants to host an RPR workshop, 6-hour thing, it's basically you have to provide a venue and you have to agree that, we'll get at least 30, and they'll work with you. So why RPR? This is stuff that I did not know. Because like my father is a basketball coach and he coached everything. I think he always believed and taught me that we want to get kids excited, give them like adrenaline. I remember my dad telling me stories about people lifting a car because somebody was underneath it. And I was like, how can you lift a car? And adrenaline. Adrenaline allows us to do superhuman things. That's why people break records in the Olympics, because they got adrenaline. So that's why coaches get all rah, 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 before a game and all that kind of stuff. What Douglas Heel taught me is that the third word of fight or flight, I thought those sounded pretty good, that the third word is freeze. that the sympathetic nervous system promotes fight, flight, or freeze. And I said, so is that why at the state track meet most athletes do worse than better? He goes, absolutely. It's a big stage. Their adrenaline interferes. I said, so we don't want to get guys fired up? Douglas said, no. No, you want an expansion of their vision field. You don't want a collapse of the skeleton to protect internal organs. You want people expanded. So that was like 5 or 6 years ago. So I guess I was thinking wrong all the way. Parasympathetic is the performance thing. Fear is not a good performance state. And that's what, fear is a part of adrenaline. It is fight or flight or freeze. So what RPR, what does this have to do with RPR can get you in that parasympathetic thing. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen pre-4x4. I don't know about your athletes, but do they come up every once in a while looking like they're kind of imploded? Shaking before the 4x4? Well, if I can work on them for 5 minutes, they'll get off the table going, I'm ready. That's a performance state. When they're shaken and imploded, that's not a performance state. So why do we do RPR? Pain reduction. Sometimes people that says my back's hurt for months and doesn't hurt anymore. Sometimes it can be crazy. Increased flexibility, you'll see it, and resilience to injury. There are professional teams, college teams, high school teams that have incredible success stories in terms of limiting injuries. We're going to do primary resets, wake-up drills. They're easy to teach. Why RPR? Most injuries, they're non-contact injuries, are due to compensation patterns. In other words, it's like this. A good story. I took my best long jumper in to see Chris Corfist. He said he keeps tweaking his hamstring. I don't think it's a real pull, but there's a serious problem with his hamstring. This kid's a great athlete, running back in football, strong. So I took him to Chris, and he tested him and said, I'll never forget, he said, your glutes are as worthless as a tub of goo. He goes, but I squat like 400, and he goes, I don't care. They're off. They're non-functional. And guess what happens if you have glutes that are not functional? The hamstring has to do the butt's job. So you have a hamstring that thinks it's your butt. Never had another problem. Compensation. I mean, you will still figure out a way. You will still figure out a way to get things done. But you might have some muscles not working and other ones doing twice the work. It's not meant to replace medical treatment. It's not medical. It just simply returns the body the way it's supposed to work. When things are all on, movement is easy and you don't get hurt. The 1, 2, 3 zones, I'm going to really hit on zone 1 because zone 1 is the key. Zone 1 is everything radiates from the center of our body outward. So the zone 1 stuff is your breathing. I'll show you how to do that. Your psoas and your glutes. So basically, zone 1 are the things that allow you to pick up your knee and put it down. The most important things in the world. If you can't do that, then you don't eat. So we're going to work on zone 1. 2 and 3 things that we'll probably leave out. There's spots that we're going to hit. I'll show you some of those. I didn't know what the psoas was. I was a science guy. I didn't even know what the psoas was. And I think in yoga they call it the muscle of the soul. It's a weird thing. It goes from your back to your femur, and it initiates this. Now, many athletes, and many of you, will have a totally off psoas. Off. But can you still do this? Of course. You're just using other things. Now, why is that not good? If things are compensating for other things, that's how injuries happen. And the ease of movement. Have you ever noticed how people that are really fast make it look easy? Yep, always. So, what's happening is their muscles are all working. That's another picture of the psoas. Carl, he must have had a good psoas working there. But this is Chris Corfus. When Chris really got famous is when he took these nerds from the high school he worked at, and they set a state record in a 4x1. I knew something was going on. I wrote about Douglas Heel. You can just, look up Douglas Heel and my name. This is my leadoff runner when we set the state record. By the way, that record's broken now. It only lasted 1 year. But Brendan said, man, after I got off the table with Corfus, I thought I was in a trance. I said, no, you're in the zone. You ever heard of the zone? There's a book written about the zone. It's flow. If you've ever been in the zone, I don't know, I remember the first college basketball game my parents ever came to. I think I got kind of excited, and I hit all 8 of my shots first half. I went 8 for 8. Nothing easy either. We're talking, I was playing, and the rim seemed like it was that big. That's in the zone. You would love to be in the zone all the time. Love to. Most athletes are not. Most athletes are imploded, way too much adrenaline. This is Julian Love, who was the best football player in Chicago 4 years ago, became an All-American in Notre Dame, and now is playing for the Giants. Right now he's using an activation stick. This is what we used a long time ago. But he's actually, Nazareth, where he played, was big into this. And one of the cool things about Nazareth, they won the state championship this year, or the year that he was playing, and 53 of the 54 kids that started the season played in the championship game. 14 games. So right now he's working on a psoas spot. Their total injuries at Nazareth went down, down, down. In the yellow, that's when they win RPR. Concussions, I believe their entire program had 1 concussion that year, and I hear that all the time, that concussions pretty much go away. I know it's crazy, but like I said, it's voodoo. They also play real fast. Nazareth played fast because they did it. Montini did it, and they played fast. Here's kind of a creepy picture of Julian. But I'm showing this because the first spot we're going to hit is we're going to work the bottom rib, not under the rib, but on the bottom side of the rib. And we're going to go here, 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 and here. And what that does is allow for the diaphragm to work better. And don't start doing that to yourself yet, because I'm going to show some things here in a minute. But that would be the first thing, and then we'll get him breathing. Let's see if I can do this. This is called belly breathing, where the chest doesn't move. That's diaphragmatic breathing. This is pretty popular in like yoga type stuff, and this will change your brain when you belly breathe. So that's, by the way, everything about RPR, even though we joke around that it's voodoo, it's all based on breathing. It's all based on belly breathing. This is a psoas spot. I'll show you that in a minute. The glute spot right here. And right here. Bang, bang. I got some anecdotal stories. I was training this kid. I don't like to train kids, but he wanted to be trained and he paid for it. So I was training him on Sundays, and he was pretty fast. He's running like 0.99, 1 flat. I think he's a 1 flat guy, basically. He came in one day and ran like a 106, 105, and he was all, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? I said, get on the table, and we worked on him some. And he ran an 0.96. I was like, oh, that's just one story, But that's significant, and that's sometimes all we have in life for storytelling, and this seems to work. Josh Ferguson, is Josh's uncle still in here? Nope. Oh, there he is. You know this guy? You're his uncle, right? Yep. I showed your brother RPR in my living room. And Josh had had a series of hamstring issues, and he loved the RPR, and it made him a healthier player. What a great kid he is, too. The Texans got big on it. The Jags, Wisconsin got big on it. Only one of these teams bought into RPR, and they won. I hate Alabama. You got to have a Yale study. All the red is like really hard work. After RPR, the red basically went away. Anyway, I'm hurrying through some of this stuff so we can get to the fun stuff. This is interesting. This is J.L. Holdsworth that attended a Douglas Heel thing and went back and worked with Dave Tate, power lifter. And Dave Tate, he worked on him, and Dave Tate had a 90-pound PR. He was already benching like 700 pounds or something. But 90-pound PRs in the squat. It's kind of funny. JL said, "Hey, this stuff really hurts," and he said, "No big deal." Of course, he's not on steroids or anything. He just wears a testosterone shirt for fun. This Tommy Harris is a great story. Tommy had not run for me in practice for a week, not run in meet for a week. The next day was the big conference meet. Conference is big. Conference, sectional, states are only three big, like really important. He's my anchor guy, my 4x1. I was like, God, let me work on you. And he said, "Hey, I think I feel better." And then he went run. No, still tight. Dreaded, it feels tight, coach. You ever have that? It's not pulled. It's our brain. It's shutting you down. The brain shutting the hamstring down. So what Tommy, I called Chris and I said, "Am I doing something wrong?" And he goes, "No, just bring him in. We'll work on him." Chris worked on him for an hour, and Tommy ran 4 races the next day. Maybe it's just a story. He felt so much better. I get some weird things. Like some guy asked me to activate this girl's glutes, and I said, "I'll do whatever I have to." But anyway, true story. I mean, I actually did it in the school because I thought it was creepy. But when you activate the glutes, you're working here and here. You're not, But anyway, she said that no matter what she did lifting wise, it all went to other parts of her body. That her glutes, we got her glutes activated, and the rest is history. Crazy story. Guy from this guy's like a big timer. He says, "Hey, I'm going to fly out. Can you get me in to see Chris?" I don't even know this guy. Simon Martin. I said, "Who are you?" He said, I do a magazine and blah, blah, whatever. I said, "Yeah, fly on out. I'll get you in." His goal is to run a sub-5 at 65. That'd be pretty fast. But anyway, Simon Martin said that even though he's a elite runner for his age, that every night he had to lift his legs to get him in bed. I don't know, when you get old, weird things start happening. And he said after getting RPR, he felt for the first time his psoas working. We've had great success and been injury-free. Cal Dietz, I don't know if you know Cal, but he's a really, really smart guy. He's one of the 3 owners. J.L. Holdsworth, the bodybuilder, Cal Dietz, the hockey strength conditioning, and the other owner is Chris Corfus. Okay, that's it. So let's talk now, or let's show. Now it gets kind of fun, where I get to show kind of what it can do. Can I have a volunteer? This is stuff, come on up. This is stuff that we do. I think we can do it up here. Yeah, get up here. Oh, I'm telling you. Okay, this is one of the things we do for buy-in. Like before you get your kids, you got to get your kids to buy into things. So we're just going to do an arm test, strength test. So arm out like this. There you go. Hold it. Okay, he's strong. It's good. Now I want you to do, this is like a parlor trick, but it's important that you see this. Do 7 squats. Can you do squats? This. Yep. Doing 7 squats. I told you it's voodoo, but I'm always hoping this works. Okay, arm out, hold. Do you feel weaker? A little bit? A lot of times people lose. Okay, we're going to do something different. Let's go real shallow chest press. And I want you to think about somebody that absolutely steals your thunder all the time. Like when you see them, you just like, oh, shit. You know what I'm saying? Okay, but I don't want you to breathe through the belly. I want you to go kind of like a scared breathe. Okay, do that for a while. Arm out. Up. Hold. Okay, that's bad. You were weaker that time. Okay. Okay, you're done. Great job. Now, was he weaker? Was he, I mean, he has the same muscles, right? I mean, more than any other coaches in the world, we should understand the CNS totally dominates performance, the central nervous system. So, I could get him strong again. I forgot to do that. Guess how I get him strong again? Belly breathe. And then, I should have done it. Let's do it. Come back up here. Okay, you're weak as hell on that last one. I don't care what you say. All right. That's embarrassing. You're so weak. So now I want you belly breathe. Okay. Yeah, make your belly look like it's almost like pregnant. In, out. A lot of times you. And also be thinking about somebody that encourages you, motivates you, that you feel good about. Okay, arm out. Hold. Stronger. Good. The point being, am I done? You're done this time. I won't call you back. We have one other buy-in thing that you can show people because, and there's actually a different one too. I kind of wish I would have tried. Another one is a rotational. I need another, somebody else want to show a rotational? I won't make fun of you or anything. Oh, I need somebody. Thank you. Come on up. Okay. So on this, just face me, and I'm going to hold here. No, I'll hold here and push here down. And just see how strong, try to resist the rotation. Okay, I'm going to push. All right, 1, 2, 3. Okay, sit back down. He's too strong. Shit. Come here. I'm so sorry about this. Okay. I'm going to push, okay? You're going to stay strong here. Right? 1, 2, 3. Oh. All right. Okay, turn around. I'm going to fix that for you. Okay. We're going to simply rub with the heel right here. The heel of your hand. You'll be amazed. You're going to be so strong. Then you're going to do percussion on the side of the spine, the other side. Okay, turn around. 1, 2, 3, hold. 1, 2, 3, hold. See? Did a good job. Checks in the mail. No, we've had people, we've had such great stuff at times that people have actually thought that we had plants, in the audience, like, oh, you guys have practiced this or something, but it's not. Now the next thing we're going to do, I'm actually going to show you exactly what I would do we never do that stuff. What we do for our runners. And so I'll show you first of all by doing it to myself. If I was doing self RPR, I would first of all go lower rib, and I'm pressing pretty hard. I'm gonna need somebody to work on here in a minute. But we go pretty hard. I'm hurrying it just a little bit, just so that, just going lower rib. And then we're going to go sternum. We're pressing pretty hard. It kind of hurts. But when you do that, you will breathe between 10 and 30% better through the belly. Now, did I touch the diaphragm? No. No, I've just triggered the diaphragm is all I've done. So that's the first step. The next step is the psoas. The psoas point is 2 inches over from the belly button and 2 inches down. And it's real deep. Now, once again, people say, oh man, if you're trying to touch the psoas, you're going to have serious trouble, because it's real deep. We're not touching the psoas. This is just a point. So once again, it's 2 inches over, 2 inches down. I can't talk when I do it because I don't know why. Then we do the other side. So that's this part of it. Now you can incorporate this stuff into warm-ups as well, but you got to get buy-in. Like otherwise the kids will be like, they won't care. I mean, like anything else, you got to get buy-in. And then the other thing is the glutes. So remember, why do we do the diaphragm? The psoas is like on top of the diaphragm, and just breathing well will sometimes wake up the psoas. So it's like this. And then, so the psoas, remember, does this, and the glutes do that. So we're going to do the glutes. Now I didn't do the other side of it. So the glutes are right here, bottom of the skull. You press hard, move it back and forth. If you're doing it right, your skin will turn a little red probably. That doesn't hurt at all though. You can press pretty hard. And then the next point for the glutes is right here. This is the one that hurts the worst. You're going to press against that, up underneath the ear right here, towards the nose, and you can press hard. And it hurts. I feel better already. So anyway, that's all zone 1. That's it. So if you want to see what I would do to Marcellus or Anthony Capizio or any of my runners before they run, by the way, I don't make them do this. I'll only do this. I do take a massage table with me to meets, but I will only do this if the kids want it. But my fast guys would never run without it. I mean, they just feel faster, looser, lighter, all that stuff, and then they don't get hurt. So is there somebody that's somewhat athletic and kind of like a young? I just need one person. Just need one person. Oh, you going? No, come on. That's fine. Oh yeah. Yeah, and this stuff does make you hot. Okay, so I don't have a great table here, but it's good enough. So if you lay up here on the table, I don't care. Either way, it's fine. So the first thing, and if you need to see better or something, you don't have to stay in your seats. People would stand up on their seats, whatever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to test. Sometimes I don't test. I usually don't test for a meet because I'm in a hurry. But if I'm doing this, I will test just to show what I do. The first thing I want to do is just test your flexibility. I'll go real easy. I'll do the work. Okay. And about 90 degrees. I kind of go until it pushes back. About 90 degrees. And now we'll go with this one. 90, maybe slightly more than 90, 90, 95. And then we will check for the psoas strength. So on this, I'm going to lift your leg here, toe out, and I'm going to put my hand on this hip. And when I say resist, I'm going to push your leg down. Okay. And you're going to keep it up. Okay? One. Okay, relax for now though. Okay. Okay, 1, 2, 3, resist. There, you had a little bit, but not much. Now that's exciting to me because I would say on a scale 1 to 10, that's about a 2. Definitely a fail, and something that, you know, I can make you a better athlete now. You know, I know that. Now, if we get somebody that's really strong already, then it's not, you know, you'd probably just freak. Okay, same thing. Resist. Not the same. You know, I felt a little bit, there's some zeros out there where you say, no, okay, resist. And they say, I was. Okay, no, don't let me push your leg down. And it's like, you don't have anything. But they're still able to go out and race and stuff. They're just not going to be as good as they could be. And then the other thing is the glute test. And with this, just roll over. And we're just going to test for glute strength. So on this, you're going to take one leg, toe or knee up, toe to the sky. Lift as high as you can. That's pretty good. You can tell she's strong. Okay, do that again, and now then I'm going to push downward, okay? Up. Okay, 1, 2, 3, resist. Okay, I didn't think she would have much, and this is the reason why. Because if your psoas is off, the reciprocal is probably off too. If you're real strong here, you're real strong here. So I will do the same thing with this one. Up. Sorry about this bad table. 1, 2, 3, resist. She has a little bit, but not as much as we'd like. Okay, roll over. So those are the 3 tests. So the first thing we're going to do, I just want to see you breathe. Belly breathe. Good. Remember, the breathing is the central part of all of this. I've actually had high school kids that could not do this. No, breathe here. They could not do that. They had to be in a constant state of, you know, sympathetic mess. Okay, so now I'm going to work on your bottom rib, right there, and it's going to hurt a little bit. I can tell because the face. Now, you could go real hard. Douglas Heel used to go real hard. It's crazy. But this is why I do it with my athletes. Nobody's ever questioned it. I've been doing it for 6 years. Nobody's ever said, why are you putting your hands on kids? I don't know if it's because I'm old or whatever, but. Right. Okay, now the sternum. Kind of unpleasant. Yeah. You're going to go up, back down. Rib a little bit more. Okay, that was the diaphragm. Now see you breathe again. Do you notice? It's better. It's noticeably better to me. I mean, not a huge difference, but it's better. It's better. Now, what does that do? She's going into a much more parasympathetic state, a more open, relaxed, the way good athletes are. Think about Usain Bolt. He didn't know anybody was watching him. He was like in his zone. Okay, now we're going to check your flexibility here. A little better. A little better, not a whole lot. Sometimes we go from here all the way. Everybody's different. But just breathing can relax your, like you can become more flexible without stretching by doing this. It's crazy. Okay, so the next thing is your psoas. You're going to go belly button right here, a little bit lower, and I will go Trying to find a hot spot in there. You kind of feel that? Okay. Just doing circles. And then we'll go the other side. Everybody's watching very intently here. It's so weird. All right, and then we're going to go glutes. So the glutes are back here. I'll try not to, sometimes your hair gets pulled a little bit. I'll try not to do that. And this is just zone one, just zone one. Then, now, I wouldn't be testing my athletes because I want to get done. And now the one that hurts, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hurts, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm going to check your flexibility one more time. Pretty good. Okay, now for the psoas, resist. Feel that? Yeah, she's probably an 8 now. It's really good. Oh. Resist. Very good. Worked. Roll over. That foot high. Lift. Looks higher. Okay. 1, stay. 1, 2, 3, resist. Feel that?
Yeah.
Up. Resist. It's crazy. Every time, it seems like magic to me every time I do this. I'll go ahead and show the other things real fast. Roll over. Are you still good?
Yeah.
Okay. We try to split the calf right here. I'm just going real fast. I just want you to see what we're doing. Split the calf. Split the calf. Oh, this next thing will really suck. Yeah, VMO. We're going to trace the line of the vastus medialis oblique. Right there. That hurt? Oh, so sorry.
I'm a distance coach too. So.
Oh, I'll push harder. We're just, a lot of times there's adhesion between the muscle and the bone, and we don't want that. And so we kind of rip the, I'm going to try to do it. I can't do it from that side. Sorry.
That's okay.
With my guys, it's like, you missed practice Monday? I remember that. You know, so go hard. Okay, the next thing we're going to work on the quads. So we're going to work right here and go pretty deep. Kids are really ticklish here. And then we're going to work on the iliac crest all the way across the top. Those are spots that you're not used to. The other one, working right across that iliac crest. We're just rubbing the top of that bone. The calf spot is really weird. 45-degree angle between the belly button and the rib. So it's belly button, rib, right there. Sorry. And then the other way. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. And then the neck is, this is what does all the work for the concussion problem. So we're going to work that about 1 inch below the clavicle right here. So it's like right here. That usually hurts. Yeah. And the other side. Then we're going to, I'm not even telling you what these spots are doing. I'm just showing what we're doing. Now we're going to saw off the arms. People that do a lot of bench pressing, this really hurts them. Then this one. And then we go right underneath that arm right there. So sorry. Okay. You're good. Okay, get up and like walk this way and just, we always let people walk and stuff and, you know, just move around. A lot of times if you're doing testing, I probably should have had her do some type of athletic movement and then come back. How you feel any different?
A little lighter.
Lighter? That's probably the most common thing. I feel lightness. There's people that, my favorite one, an athlete got off the table right before the 4x4. Right after telling me he didn't think he wanted to run it, he said, I feel new. Like, hey, you know, and they say, well, even if it's hocus pocus, if kids can feel better and empowered and all that stuff, it's all good stuff. Questions? Thank you so much. You're a good sport. Questions? Who has questions about RPR? Yep.
How often do you do this during the week with your kids?
You know, I'm terrible. I've only done it at meets. But I am convinced, like my son Quinn incorporated it into their football warm-ups. So what they would do is they would belly breathe, and then they would fast march, and then they would work on the diaphragm, then they would high knees, and then they would work both sides psoas, and then do A skips, and then they would work the glute stuff. So they would do all those things, and then and as a part of their warm-up, because you're resting in between your high-speed things anyway. So this is a pretty good thing. And I think I need to do that. I just never have. We don't get kids hurt in practice, so, and I think all the time that, I don't know about you, but it seems like in football, kids get hurt late in practice, much more often than they do early. So if all football practices were an hour, maybe there wouldn't be many injuries. I don't know. But this RPR stuff definitely helps with that. The other question that everybody has, how long does it last? It can last like it did for Quentin Hoosman. It lasted forever. He never had another hamstring problem ever again. And with other people, they fall right back into compensation patterns. Other questions? Yep.
I feel like you can teach your athletes to do it, and then can they help each other out with it, or is that?
Yeah, you can, but you can do this. I mean, you can press hard on your rib. You can press hard here, here, here. I mean, you can teach kids to go deep. So, you know, and then there's all that stuff. There's a couple things you got to help each other with, but the reason why RPR has gone to the self-done model is that some states actually make it illegal for like a coach to have hands on a kid. Right? You know, I mean, you go to the Illinois State track meet, you will see in the warm-up area, you'll see at least 20 massage tables. It's everywhere. Of course, it started in Illinois. It started with me and Chris. And then now it's everywhere. We're talking like national rugby teams are, I mean, Chris just got back from New Zealand. The All Blacks are doing it. That's the name of their rugby team, I think. So it's everywhere now. Other questions? Can't say.
Like right before they run, do you mean like right before they were going to run? Or?
Good question. Just sometime before. I mean, there's no science to, you know, like, oh, it needs to be 8 minutes before or anything like that. You know, I really like it, you know, 15, 20 minutes before the 4x4. You know, Marcellus would have it done before his first race. And then I'd always ask him, do you need a touch-up? I mean, he's $1 million racehorse, you know. Do you need a touch-up before the 200? And he said, yeah, let's go fast, but let's yeah. So it always helps to get breathing, you know, like declutter your brain, all that stuff. If anybody wants to stay and ask more questions, I got another 12 minutes here. But I cannot thank you enough for being a great audience. I had a ball today. And I'm retired, so